So when we're working with our nervous system, which is the baseline of information stored in the body, we need to check in. So much of our life, so much of the way we operate is just checking in with the world around. What's the weather like? How are our friends doing? How's work going? We're checking in with all these different other aspects. But it's not often that we actually check in with ourselves to see how we're doing in this moment. And when we can start to learn to check in with ourselves, we can start to bring ourselves into the present moment. We can learn whether we're operating off of past systems that no longer serve us, and then we can give ourselves new information of what we want and what will serve us. And we can also heal a little better when we do check in. We can learn if we still like what it is we're doing or not. Oftentimes we might think we like something, but then as the years go on, we realize that might have just been a conditioned like. So checking in with yourself is so important, and it's so easy to do. It really just takes a few moments. You can place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly, or maybe a hand anywhere that might be asking you to touch. And then just hold yourself. Take a deep breath and just ask, how am I feeling in this moment? And listen. Initially, it might be a little uncomfortable, especially if it's something you haven't done before, and your thoughts might start to race, and you might be like, what do you mean, how am I feeling in this moment? I don't know, and the thoughts like to take us out. So we do want to clear that space, and we can clear that space by coming into our breath. And the more that we do this, the easier it does become. You can just tap in. How do I feel in the moment? How does my body feel in response to this? And learning to work with your body and asking your body how it feels is allowing yourself to tap into the two other minds that we have. So we have our gut, our heart, and the brain. So often we're only really working with the brain. What do I think about this? How do I think about this? How do I think about this? And the brain is great, but really it just processes external stimuli. And it also can keep us from ourselves, from how we really feel, especially if it thinks that that feeling isn't going to be beneficial. But the thing about that is if an external stimuli triggers an internal feeling that we've been trying to avoid, we're going to have emotional overwhelm and not be able to really be with ourselves in those moments. So checking in with your body and how you're feeling is really beneficial. We learn to listen to our gut instinct. We learn to listen to our heart's desire, and then we use the mind to express that to the world around. So maybe take this moment and just do it for yourself. You can place a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask, how am I feeling in this moment? When we learn how we're feeling in the moment, we can ask ourselves if this feeling is true. Perhaps it's an old feeling and a recent experience is bringing that feeling up, the feeling of maybe I'm not safe. And then we can ask ourselves, am I safe in this moment? And the answer hopefully is yes. And then we can give that new information to our nervous system. So sometimes we have to catch our nervous system up with the present moment because it holds on to everything we've ever experienced. And if we've been avoiding our feelings, avoiding our emotions, avoiding the deeper aspects of our being, then we're still holding on to all of those old thoughts and old stories. So we need to bring those old stories into the present moment. Question if they're true, if they're beneficial, if they're going to help you. And then give the new information to the nervous system. So taking this practice to the next step, when we place our hands on our hearts, when we ask how we're feeling, we can judge, is this feeling true to this moment in time with where I'm at? And this is where we use our minds a little bit because we're bringing the external into the past. And if the answer is no, it's not true. For example, you might be feeling unlovable or unsafe. And then in this present moment, am I unlovable? You bring in that new information. Well, no, because this situation says that's not true because I am loved here. And this situation says that's not true because I am safe here. So then we bring that new information into our nervous system. And we do so by first telling the mind and then embodying the feeling. what does it feel like to be loved? And we let the nervous system know that this is where we're at today. And that's how we bring ourselves into the present moment. It's not just the thoughts that we have to bring into the now or the awareness, but it's our body as well, which holds on to everything we have been through and experienced. I hope this helps you. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you feel about it or if you have any other questions.